first thing you need to do is to glue these two together, the bodice and the skirt part, front to front and then back to back. The next thing you want to do is to make sure that you locate your bust point, and on your bust point, the measurement from your bust point to your under bust, put it at a circle. The next thing you want to do is to go ahead and mark your neckline, and then divide your armhole by 2 and then connect it to your neckline. After you've done that, take 0.5 inches from your front and roll it straight down. When you're done, you want to go down on your neckline by 0.5 or 1 inches depending on how you want your cleavage to show, and then you connect it in a curve-like pattern. Remember the circle you made earlier from your underbust, connect it together and connect it to the side of the armhole. So this is like a basic for creating corset. So if you've been with me for a long time, you know that this is just the norm. Contouring is the next part, but we're going to be leaving contouring, and every inches we want to use to contour is going to go for a ruched, and that's why I put 1 inch on that side for my ruched. When I'm done doing this, I will just measure my remaining armhole and then I'll cut my pattern out. That is done for the front. Done with that, we're going to cut out our cup, and then that side we're going to open it up and then close it together, just slightly overlapping it. So when we're done doing that, we're going to go ahead and cut out the 0.5 that we put at the front, because that is where the flap that we have the eyelet is going to be sitting. So when we're done with that, we're just going to go ahead and do the back side. So the next thing we're going to be doing is working on our cup. Now we're going to cut all at that, and then we're going to close it at the top. Now you know the ruching is slightly to the side of the dart, so we're going to be closing the side dart, and then we're going to be closing the upper dart, and we will open the side for the ruching. I don't know if that makes sense. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to add the fullness to my upper part, and then I'm going to trace it out and cut it. That means I'm done with anything that has to do with the cup. The back panel, I'm just going to go ahead and measure my armhole into 2 again, and then I'm going to just from my neckline with whatever shape I want. So since the front part is lower, that means the back part should be low as well, but this doesn't necessarily mean it should be low. It just depends on you. So on this one, I went ahead to contour my back part as well by 0.5 inches at the side, and then I'll just tape it and retrace it or just cut it out. So here I choose to cut it out because I feel it's gonna be too much retracing and adding up. So when I was done doing this, I just feel like it is time to add the ruched to my down part, but I feel it would be good to add it on the fabric, so I'm going to add it on the fabric without wasting too much pattern. The fabric of choice is suede fabric, but here I don't have a suede fabric, so I'm going to be using this demo on the cotton, whereas I'm still hoping it turns out just the same way. And I'm going to use that brocade for the 1 inch of the front, and as you can see here, all my ruching are add to the down part and is exactly 10 inches. So on here on my cup, I'm just going to mark my ruched part, and I'm going to go ahead and put interfacing on one part, and then I'll ruch it and come back. The next thing to do is on my front and on my side. So I'm going to be ruching from front all the way down, on the side all the way down. In other words, I am going to be gathering it, so it's just basic gathering. And I went ahead to cut my 0.5 inches, and it's folded to 2 here. So I'm going to be sewing it here on this side, and I'm going to be sewing it here on the other side. So the 0.5 inches I cut is what I'm going to be sewing those brocade on. The only tip is to make sure that your eyelet is the same size, like very tiny, and correspond to your 0.5 that you want to put it on. And I'm going to go ahead and gather these two sides, gather it to be the original length I want the gown to be, and I'm going to be sewing that on the brocade side, the front part on the brocade side. So I'm going to do the same on both of my front parts. If you also want the ruching to get to the back side, you could do also the same thing there. But if you notice, you see that I'm using the back to like measure the ruche for the front. So it's like I don't want to ruche at the back, so I use that as a basis for measurement of the length. So I was done sewing it here, and this is how it looks. Now I'm going to turn it inside out, and I'm going to go and serge my rough edges inside, and when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and press the cup side inward, and then I'll stitch it outside. I'm going to sew my back part to the front part, and then I'm going to do the neckline for the front part as well. So it's just a simple bias taping. Since this is just a demo, I'm just going to be doing simple bias taping. This is a sleeve I use, so it's just like a basic sleeve that I cut out, and then I'm going to do separate videos of that sleeve if you want it. So I'll just finish the tip of that sleeve and I'll show you how I finish up the sleeve. You can see the reason why I was telling you to pick the right eyelet here. My own eyelets couldn't match up with my own brocade size, so I'm going to look for a smaller eyelet and install it. But overall, I think I like this dress, but I wanted to see if I should have put the umber waist, that is a cut by the waist, or this is just okay. So I could go ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead now, use Suede fabric to make this and see the effect on it. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, share and like, and I'll see you in my next video.